Assalamu alaikum, welcome back to hashtag NLAP. I just want to say, I am a yo-yo, but the question is, are you? The explanation coming right up. So, a little bit of backstory here. Up to the age of 15, I was really cautious with regards to my height. You see, I was kind of like the smaller kid in class. Even amongst my peers, amongst my friends, I was a smaller kid. But after a little bit of consoling, actually a lot of consoling, I came over that. And that was not really that big of a problem for me anymore. However, what lay ahead was worse. You see, at the age of 15, I and my family went on a holiday. And this holiday was to America. My love for food, toppled by the American standard size. It was a recipe for disaster, I tell you, but it put me in an overweight state. And this was actually one of the first times that I went overweight. But it wasn't like I didn't realize that what was going on with me. Of course, I had all the idea. I realized what I was doing to myself, but I still didn't seem to have control over it. And for some odd reason, it just kept on accumulating. As you all know, when you get into a bad routine, a bad habit, it just tends to stick. When I came back, even after a while, the bad habit stuck with me. Then, at the age of 16, I actually started working in a fast food restaurant. And that didn't really help the situation either. Now fast forward 15 years, I'm either fat or fatter. You see, once I reach an all-time high, I tend to do something about it. I try and hit it with my diet, and I try to work out with whatever I know, or just do some jogging, or just do some home exercises, something that just really gets me sweating. It could be skipping, jogging, or just anything that is convenient for me and can fit around my schedule, you see? I get through this phase and I start losing weight. It doesn't all shed away, but I start losing weight and I start feeling good about myself. I see that the diet's working. I see whatever I'm doing with regards to cardio, it's working. And that's the end of that. Every 3 or 4 months I hit a wall, and this wall is not just a mental barrier. All the bad habits start creeping in, but they don't come in at once. You see, it's just one packet of crisps. It's just a couple of biscuits. And like that, everything just floods back in. The pantry is full of all rubbish stuff. The salads have gone from the fridge. You're not really having any avocados anymore. And when these bad habits creep back in, it's anyone's guess. The weight starts creeping back up. And what's worse is that when the weight comes back, it doesn't come back as if to your normal weight. It goes beyond that. So your all-time high, let's say 100 kilograms, okay? Your all-time high is 100 kilograms. You lose weight, all right? And you've done really, really good to do it, all right? And you come down to 92 kilos, which is a decent weight. So you lost 8 kilos, everything's nice, and then what happens? You hit that wall that I mentioned earlier, all right? And when you hit that wall, you go from 92 back to 95. From 95 back to 97. And from 97, you go straight to 101. Now you check your weight when you're at 98, but you just say, okay, I've got 2 more kilos of allowance that I've given myself, because I still haven't beaten my all-time high. But the next time you check your weight, you're freaking 105. Story of my life. Now you tell me, are you on the same boat? Mention it in the comments. Are you struggling with the same problems that I am? I've been struggling it for 15 years now, alright? But the question is, what are you going to do about it? What is it that you want to try and achieve to make a change? You see, over the past 15 years, I've done many diets. You can call them fad diets if you want, or you can just call them quick fixes. They do tend to work as quick fixes, alright? Are they healthy? Are they unhealthy? I'm not judging, alright? Every time that I've done something, I have achieved what I wanted to achieve for that small duration of time. But that's the key, for that small duration of time. You see, one of these diets that I did was named the Cambridge diet, alright? And in that diet, I had to consume 500 calories, and these 500 calories were not coming from anything else except for their own shakes and soups, alright? Now, I've done many plans, okay, but 500 calories, that's just, that is just not healthy. And this is not to demonize any particular diet, alright, because there are a lot of quick fixes out there, but it's just to be aware and be present at understanding how nutrition works, how your body works, how the carbs, the proteins and the fats gel together to make you what you are currently, alright? What you are currently is actually a result of how you've been eating, not over the last fortnight, but more so over the past year. With most of these diets, my most recent expedition was in 2018, which may seem like a long time ago because we've just stepped into the new year, but I believe it was March of 2018 when I reached another all-time high, and for some reason or the other I had to get my blood work done. And once I got this blood work done, I was told by the doctor that I'm pre-diabetic, and if I don't do something about it right now, then diabetes is just basically around the corner. And that is a scary thought. You may know someone who has type 2 diabetes, and type 2 is the most common, but the thing is that type 2 is controllable. Your situation is reversible. So back to my point. As of my most recent expedition in 2018, when I was told by the doctor that I am pre-diabetic and I have high cholesterol. Now this is a worrying thought as I'm only 29, and that gave me the fright because I really want to be able to enjoy my family life and my kid. I want to see them grow up. I want to be able to play with them. At this point in life, I discovered the keto diet, and as I was doing some sort of research onto it, I realized that keto and intermittent fasting are things that go hand in hand. I did think it's a change of lifestyle, and I did agree with a lot of its principles. I sort of understood the point that it was getting across. So I head into my keto diet, alright? I love those eggs, those avocados, those fats, having everything in coconut oil. So when I discovered intermittent fasting and the keto diet, I really love the way that both of them were designed to essentially hack your system, if that makes any sense. However, over the years, the one thing that I haven't really ever done is weight training, resistance training. I am a complete stranger to how the gym life works. For all I know what protein shakes were. I thought they were just mass builders. I have no idea. I have never bought one. I have never used one. I don't understand the concept of it. And because I'm an outsider to it, therefore I just think it's wrong. A part of this goes back to when I was growing up, because you see, I was told not to lift weights as a kid. And the reason why I was told that, because you're going to stay small. You're not going to grow. You're not going to grow in height. And that was a daunting thing, as I mentioned earlier. So that weightlifting problem, coupled with my height problem, it just already gave me such a big complex growing up. And as I got fatter and fatter, I only thought that diet was the only approach for me to get fitter. Or if not just diet, then it was also some sort of cardio. And when I say some sort of cardio, I only mean everything and anything that I can do at home or just jogging around outside. Because you see, in the past, I have lost a significant amount of weight like that. And therefore I knew it worked. Whether it was correct for me or not, that is not something that I knew at the time. So as I embarked upon this journey, currently that I'm on is weight training and resistance training. And with this sort of expedition, I actually thought that it is a necessity to go to the gym and have a personal trainer explain to you how exercises work, how muscles work. And part of that journey I will be sharing with you guys over the course of the following weeks. I would have every Friday dedicated to a gym session with me and my trainer. You can look at his Instagram just over here. It's going to be Paul White Fitness on Instagram, because I understood him as a person who came from the same sort of background as me. He's done his fair share of work and it's gotten him to where he is. I'm just aiming to change my life around in a healthy way. However, I've never done resistance training, pumping those muscles up. But the thing is that for this particular type of training, you're recommended a high protein diet. I have done one of those before, but how my high protein used to be, it's completely different. Because you see, I was consuming what I thought was meat, and it was frozen, but it was the worst sort of meat. So was I really putting the right thing into me? No. The only slight worry that I do have with regards to embarking on this gym lifestyle is that there are a lot of variations and a lot of differences in what people say. So one person says something, the other person says something else. However, they both mean the same thing in terms of what you want for your results. Alright? They both mean you good. Everyone has a different approach. And when I say everyone has a different approach, everyone is different. When everyone is different, you have to choose what works for you. You have to choose what is the right diet, what is the right gym schedule, what is the right way of life. Because I go to the gym an hour, 2 hours, alright, with my trainer. However, the rest of the 22 hours are up to me. How I divide them, how they are incorporated into my life, how my work is balanced within those other 22 hours. So you see, there's a lot to gather and collect. There's a lot of information to gather and collect. But you have to set it down. You have to write out a plan. But you cannot write out a plan without the help of a professional. And once you do know and do understand all the exercises that there are always different variances. There's always a different way of working a certain muscle when you are unable to perform it in another way. So these are things that you learn as you make friends along the way, as the gym people start recognizing what you're doing, how you're doing it, and they even correct you, whether you've booked them or not. As a personal trainer, they correct you sometimes. They tell you this is not how it's done. And that's where the community heads in. And that's where you make new friends. So, in short, a really important point that I want to make is that you have to trust and follow what suits you best. Alright? With the help of professional advice, with the help of professional input. No matter what plan you choose, no matter what diet you choose, you have to remember one thing, and that is be consistent. And the way I feel that I can be consistent is that I'm not measuring my success by something that I've been told, which is my weight. My weight is not a measure of my success as I'm going through this journey. And I'm only saying it because I didn't lose it. An easy way of not giving up is having a long time scale. Measuring your progress over a long time scale. If you always give up at the second week, then you need to set a target for a month. And as you set the target for a month, you do not set a target for your weight. Because when you do not lose the weight in 1 month, then you feel disheartened. And when you're disheartened, trust me, because I've been there, you fall off the wagon completely. And you sort of give excuses to yourself. And it's just a cycle that you fall into. Just remember to be consistent and don't give up. As you set a long-term goal to measure your success or your progress, you will fail at many hurdles. Heck, even in the first week, you may have given yourself a target of losing a certain amount of weight and you failed at the first hurdle. Because I kept on failing. I'm a prime example. 15 years of failing. So I have to change something. And likewise, you have to change something. And it's the attitude towards what you're doing. You're not changing your diet. You're not getting healthier. You're changing your lifestyle. You see, success will be achieved as you stop failing. And you will fail. Failing is a big part of getting better, getting stronger, getting fitter. Failing is a massive part of it. So it's alright to fail. But what you do next matters. How you react to the failings is what determines you. It's what separates you from the people who have tried before. You see, being a yo-yo has taught me a lot of things about myself. Whether it be the 500 calorie diet that I did go through, okay, and I did achieve what I wanted to achieve at the time. But besides the point, my body could live off shakes and soups and 500 calories. That is insane. But that just goes to show that when you have your mind set towards your goal and you're following a plan, even it be a rubbish one, even it be something that is unhealthy and you're still following it, but you've got your mind focused on towards it, you will achieve it. But if you're like me and you have been through these lows of life, alright, and I will call them lows of life, then you need to make sure you have one thing in your mind, that you want to change your lifestyle, as I am trying to do now. See where that leads you. But always remember to be open to exploring new ideas, because you never know, what you might find is something that really works for you. With that said, I would like to invite all of you to subscribe to my channel and click on that notification bell just so that you get updated as soon as I post a video. I will be seeing you in the next video. If you wanna be my lover,